At just 14 years old, she was kicking a ball around the dusty streets of Kaduna with nothing but a dream. Today, she is the captain of Africa's most successful women's football team and a star player for one of Europe's biggest clubs. But here is what will shock you. Our journey to the top wasn't about beating the odds everyone said were against her. It was about something far more powerful and far more inspiring. This is the untold story of how Rasheedat Ajibade did not just become Nigeria's football queen, she rewrote the entire playbook for what African women can achieve on the world stage. Welcome back to RNN TV, where we go beyond the headlines to bring you the stories that matter. I am your host, Esther Olateju, and while most media outlets are busy covering the goals and the glory, we are here to unpack the journeys, the struggles, and the moments that truly define greatness. Today, we are diving deep into a story that is not just about football, it is about leadership, resilience, and how one young woman from Nigeria is changing the game for an entire generation. Let's start with something most people don't know about Rasheedat Ajibade. Born December 8, 1999 in Kaduna State, Nigeria, she did not grow up in a football academy or with expensive coaching. She grew up in the northern part of Nigeria, where women's football was not exactly seen as a path to success. But here is where our story gets interesting. While other young talents were just playing for fun, Rasheedat was already thinking like a businesswoman. At just 14, when she started showing real promise on the football pitch, she was not just dreaming of playing professionally. She was already thinking about how to use football as a platform to impact others. This mindset, this leadership mentality, that is what separated her from every other talented kid kicking a ball in Nigeria. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. In 2013, when Rasheedat was just 14 years old, she joined SC Robo in Nigeria's Women's Premier League. But she did not just join as a player, she joined with a vision. While most teenagers were worried about schoolwork and social media, Rasheedat was already demonstrating the kind of leadership that would later make her a captain. By 2014, just 1 year after joining FC Robo, she was already being recognized as one of the league's top young talents. But here is what caught my attention. She was not just excelling on the field, she was excelling off it too. She won the Nigerian women's football freestyle competitions in both 2015 and 2018. Think about that for a second. She was not just a great team player, she was mastering individual skills that showed her dedication to being the complete footballer. And get this, by 2017, at just 18 years old, FC Robo made her their captain. 18 years old, and she was already leading grown women who had been playing professionally longer than she'd been alive. That is not just talent. That is leadership that people recognize and respect. Here is something that sets Rasheedat apart from many professional athletes. While pursuing her football career, she earned a bachelor's degree in accounting from Lagos State Polytechnic. Now, why is this significant? Because it shows something about her character that goes beyond football. Think about it. She could have easily focused solely on football and probably still made it to the top. But she chose to pursue education alongside her sporting career. This is not just about having a backup plan. This is about understanding that true leadership requires knowledge, discipline, and the ability to think strategically. Skills she learned in accounting, budgeting, planning, analyzing performance, these are exactly the skills that make great team captains. At 19, Rasheedat made a move that would change everything. She signed with Avaldnes in Norway's top-flight league. Now, for a young African woman to move to Europe and immediately start performing at the highest level, that is not easy. We are talking about different playing styles, different cultures, different languages, and completely different expectations. But here is what is remarkable. She did not just survive in Norway, she thrived. Her performances were so impressive that within just 1 year, she caught the attention of Atletico Madrid, one of Spain's biggest clubs. And this is where our story takes an unexpected turn. When Atletico Madrid came calling in 2019, offering her a 3-year contract, most players would have been thrilled just to get the opportunity. But Rasheedat, she negotiated. She made sure the deal was right for her long-term career goals. And when the initial 3 years were up in 2022, she extended for another 3 years, but this time on her terms, with increased responsibilities and better conditions. Now, let's talk about her international career. Because this is where we see the real Rasheedat Ajibade emerge. She started with Nigeria's under-17 team, then moved to under-20, and finally to the senior national team. But at every level, she was not just a player, she was a leader. At the 2014 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, she scored crucial goals that helped Nigeria advance. But more importantly, she showed the kind of composure under pressure that coaches notice. When Nigeria needed someone to step up in big moments, it was Rasheedat who delivered. Fast forward to today, and she's not just the captain of the Super Falcons, she's transforming what it means to be a captain. Under her leadership, Nigeria has been performing at levels that have surprised even their most optimistic fans. She's not just wearing the armband, she's redefining what African leadership looks like on the global stage. Here's where Rasheedat's story gets really interesting, and where most media coverage completely misses the point. In 2020, she launched the Stand House with Rash campaign. This was not just a feel-good publicity stunt, this was strategic community development. She distributed cash prizes, jerseys, and boosts to amateur football players across Nigeria. But think about the bigger picture here. She was creating a pipeline of future talents while building her own brand and legacy. At just 21 years old, she was thinking like a CEO, not just an athlete. Then there is a foundation work. The Rasheedat Ajibade Foundation recently launched a medical outreach program, partnering with healthcare providers to teach CPR and first aid to young footballers. Again, this is not just charity, this is systematic change. She's addressing one of the biggest challenges in African sports: medical preparedness and emergency response. And here is something that really caught me off guard. She started her own company, Rash, selling unique products online. While playing professional football at the highest level, while captaining a national team, she's also building a business empire. That is not just impressive, that is revolutionary. Today, Rasheedat Ajibade is not just Nigeria's football queen, she is a blueprint for what the next generation of African athletes can become. So, there you have it, the real story of how Rasheedat Ajibade became Nigeria's football queen. It was not just about talent or luck, it was about the strategic thinking, consistent leadership, and understanding that success is bigger than just individual achievement. What do you think? Is Rasheedat Ajibade the role model that young African women need to see more of? Are there other aspects of our journey that you think we should explore further? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your insights often shape our future stories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Rasheedat's journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to RNN TV for more stories that go beyond the headlines. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and remember, the most inspiring stories are often the ones hiding in plain sight.